equals 6.3. In the step 6, the lower and upper confidence limit is saan ba? Yung ano ko, kita mo. In the step 6, the lower and upper confidence limit.
This is the given number 2 instance. The following data the numbers 100. The objective here is to find the confidential interval, the mean of population for all the players. The given is number 91. The first thing you need to do is make it label first. The given is 81, 79, 76, 95. 4, 80, 77, 96, 82, 83, 86, 92, 89. This is all the given that are given at the book. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. After you list the players, the next thing you need to list the given that is on the book, which is X, After you list the given, you need to do is add them all. The answer would be the answer would be 1275 when you add all of these numbers. Then the third step you're gonna do is you're gonna subtract the given number in 100. You're gonna list first the given number is 81, 79, 96, 92, 95, 93, 74, 80, 77, 96, 82, 83, 86, 92, 89. I'm going to subtract them all to number 85 because 100 minus 15 would be 85. Here is you're gonna subtract. The first answer will be negative 4, then 79 minus 85 will be negative 6, 76, 76 minus 85 will be negative 9, then 92 minus 85 will be 7, 95 minus 85 will be 10. 93 minus 85 would be 8. 74 minus 85, the answer would be negative 11. 80 minus 85, the answer is negative 5. 77 minus 85 would be negative 8. 96 minus 85 is 11. 82 minus 85 is negative 3. 83 minus 85 would be negative 2. Then 86 minus 85 plus 1. 92 minus 85 is 7. And last one is 89 minus 85 is 4. After you answer all in the third table, the answer you get, you're gonna square it to, you're gonna square it into 2. 4 squared would be 16, then 6 squared would be 36, then 4, 1, 7, 49, 10, 100, then 8, 64, 11, 121, then 5, 8, 11, 2, 1, 7, 4. would be 64. Then 11 squared would be 121. 3 squared would be 9. Then 2 squared would be 4. And 1 squared would be 1. And 7 would be 49. Then 4 squared would be 16. After that, after you answer all, you're gonna add this all the answer, and then the answer would be 7. This is would happen given number 2. That's all.
Thank you.
Okay, now let us proceed to the step-by-step solution in finding our confidence interval and the lower and upper confidence. As mentioned in the lecture before me, our sample is 15, the sample mean is 85, and the standard deviation is 7.35. So let us now proceed to the step 1 and finding the DF, or what we call the degrees of freedom. In finding the degrees of freedom, we have the formula of n minus 1. Let us write. Our n is 15 and minus 1. So 15 minus 1 is 14. Now, our degrees of freedom is 14. And let us proceed to the step 2. The step 2 is finding the alpha. In finding the alpha, we have the formula of 1 minus confidence divided by the 100%. There. Now let us write the 1. Our confidence level is, as mentioned in our given, is 90%. So 1 minus 90% divided by 100. Now, let us copy the 1. Minus 90 divided by 100 is 0.9. And 1 minus 0.9 is 0.1. Now, our alpha is 0.1. And let us find the alpha over 2. Now, our alpha is 0.1 divided by 2. It is 0.05. Okay, now let us go to the step 3. In step 3, we just have to find the critical value with the use of the table of critical value. It is quite easy in this step because we already find the DF and the T alpha over 2. Now, our DF is equivalent to 14 and our T alpha over 2 is equivalent to 0.05. Now, in finding the critical value, we just have to look at the vertical line, and this is where we will find the number 14. And as for the T alpha over 2, we will have to look at the horizontal and find the one tail. Now, we will find the 0.05, and if we connect that two, we will find the value, which is 2.145. This is our critical value. Now, in the step 4, we have to find the margin of error with the symbol of letter E. In finding the margin of error, we have a formula of E equals to T alpha divided by 2 times S divided by square root of N. Now, our T alpha over 2 is equals to 2.145 times our S is from our lecture before me is 7.35, and the square root of n is 15. Now, let us copy the 2.145 times 7.35 divided by the square root of 15 is equals to 1.90. Now, 1.90 times 2.145 is equals to 4.07. Now, our margin of error is equals to 4.07. In the step 5, this is where we will find the confidence interval limits with the use of the formula sample mean minus margin of error less than mean less than sample mean plus margin of error. We will have to substitute with the use of this formula. So our sample mean is 85 minus the margin of error, which is 4.07. We will have to copy this less than mean less than our sample mean, which is 85, plus the margin of error, which is 4.07. Now, we will have to calculate the 85 minus 4.07 and the 85 plus 4.07. Now, we will have to subtract the 85 minus 4.07, which is 80.93. And we will have to copy this less than mean less than 85 plus 4.07 is 89.07. Now, for our step 6, this is where we will define which is the lower confidence limit and where is the upper confidence limit. Our lower confidence limit is the 80.93. And our upper confidence limit is the 89.07. Now that we have found our confidence interval limits and the lower and upper confidence limits, that will be the end of the example number 2.
For given number 3, the mean and the standard deviation of the monthly salary of 27 employees are 4,500 pesos and 673.19 pesos respectively. Find A, find the 99% confidence interval for the actual mean and content. B, find the lower and upper confidence limit. As shown in the salary are approximately distributed. The first thing that we need to identify is the sample size, mean, and the standard deviation. The sample size is 27. The mean is 4,500. And the standard deviation is 173.90. Step 1. Find the degrees of freedom. So find the degrees of freedom if you follow this formula. The degrees of freedom is 26. Step 2. Find the confidence interval. To find the confidence confidence interval given by 100 and turn it into a decimal. 1 divided by 100 is equal to 0.01. Alpha over 2, 0.01 over 2 is equals to 0.005. For this step 3, we will find the critical value. To identify the critical value, you must first identify first the degrees of freedom and the critical value of it. The degrees of freedom and the critical value met on 2.779. And our critical value E, 2.779. Step 4, find the margin of error. In order to find the margin of error, we must follow this formula. Step 5. Find the confidence interval. To find the confidence interval, you must follow this formula. For 1,300 minus 360.03 for 1,300 plus 360.03. For 1,300 minus 360.03 is equals to 4,139.97. For 1,500 plus 360.03 is equals to 4,860.03. Step 6. Find the upper and lower confidence The lower confidence unit is 4,139.97, while the upper confidence unit is 4,860.02. That's the answer for given number.
So before we start our given would be interval estimate of population mean. Interval estimate of population mean. With unknown variance. When we say unknown variance, why the interval estimate of population is unknown variance? It is because the variance of population mean is unknown. Population mean since we do not have a prior knowledge to the actual variance, we don't have actual variance. Let us go first to our definition of terms. The sample mean symbolized by X bar, I mean X bar, I mean N rather, is the mean of the sample values collected. The population mean symbolizes as U, just like this, that we find in statistics these days is the mean of all values in population. The sample variance which is the symbol of O squared, but it is denoted by S squared, just like we're going to use in our given later, is the measure of numbers in a list that are spread out. Next one is the sample standard deviation. It is the mean, this measure of the variability is calculated from one of individual in population. It is symbolized like an S, only S, without square. The confidence interval confidence interval is the interval estimated interval expected to typically contain the parameter in being estimated. When we heard the word parameter, it is the number that describes a whole population. It is called parameter. The variance of the confidence limit is the pair of number used to describe an estimate of other characteristics. In confidence limit, we have lower and upper. In our given, we will use this formula, sample mean T sub over 2 S N X plus T sub So this is read like population mean is greater than sample mean minus T sub alpha over 2 multiplied by S over square root of N less than sample mean plus T sub alpha over 2 times S over square root of N. It is the same as what we're going to have later, just like X minus E greater than population mean less than X plus, where E is the margin of error, the X is the sample mean, and T sub alpha is the critical value that is going to find, and N is a sample size of the given, while S is the sample standard deviation. Now, we're going to start the given number 4. I am going to discuss the given 4 of statistic and probability with the topic interval estimate of population mean and unknown variables. So, the given 4 is the listed data below shows the number of randomly selected participants in 15 sections at Valley High Academy. A. Construct a 95% confidence interval to estimate the population mean. And B. Find the lower and upper confidence mean. So in our formula, we are gonna use population mean is greater than mean minus margin of error less than mean plus margin of error. So there are 15 sections. Then we are going to write the 15 section 1 to 5. 1 to Then after that, we are going to write the variable, it is the data which shows the number of randomly selected participants. So this x is the participants. In section 1, we have 36. In section 2, we have 42. In section 3, we have 35. In section 4, we have 40. In section 5, we have 39. In section 6, we have 37. In section 7, we have 40. And in section 8, we have 41. In section 9, we have 41. And in section 10, we have 40. In section 11, we have 38. In section 12, we have 43. In section 13, we have 37. In section 14, we have 34. And in section 15, we have 42. With the use of calculator, we are going to add this all to get the mean or summation of x. So 36 plus 42 plus 35 plus 40 plus 39 plus 37 plus 40 plus 41 plus 40 plus 38 plus 43 plus 37 plus 34 plus 42. And it is equal into 555. So the next one is the third column, which is the variable x minus mean. And our summation of x is 585. Now we are going to get the mean. Then the summation of x, which is 585, divided by 15. So it is 39. Now it is variable x, which is the second column, minus 39. So let us minus each. 36 minus 39 equals negative 3. 42 minus 39 equals 3. 35 minus 39 equals negative 4. 40 minus 39 equals 1. 39 minus 39 equals 0. 39 minus 37 minus 39 equals negative 2. 40 minus 39 equals 1. 41 minus 39 equals 2. 41 minus 39 equals 2. 40 minus 39 equals 1. 38 minus 39 equals negative 1. 43 minus 39 equals 4. 37 minus 39 equals negative 2. And 34 minus 39 equals negative 5. And lastly, 42 minus 39 equals 3. After that, we are going to the fourth column, which is x minus mean squared. We are going to multiply these answers to get this fourth column. Now, negative 3 squared equals positive 9. 3 squared equals positive 9. Negative 4 squared equals 16. 1 squared equals 1. 0 squared equals 0. Negative 2 squared equals 4. 1 squared equals 1. 2 squared equals 4. 2 squared equals 4. 1 squared equals 1. Negative 1 squared equals 1. 4 squared equals 16. And negative 2 squared equals 4. Negative 5 squared equals 25. And 3 squared equals 9. Now, we are getting all of this summation or all of this sum of the fourth column. Now, let us get our calculator to add them all. 9 plus 9 plus 16 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 16 plus 4 plus 25 plus 9. Now we have 104. The next we're going to do is the sample variance denoted by S squared. Now the summation of the fourth column is 104, so it is given that it is 104. Now the sample size n minus 1, which is our sample size, is 15 minus 1, so it is equivalent to 15. Now we are going to divide 104 divided by 14 in equals 7.43. The next step is our sample standard deviation, which is denoted by x. We are just getting the square root of this sample variance because it looks the same. So we're just getting the radical sign, or let's just say square root. Now, this is 104 and this is 14. The square root of 743 equals 2.73. So in step 1, we are getting the degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom, which is formula n minus 1. The n is the sample size of the given, which is 15. Minus 1 equals 14. Our degrees of freedom, or df, is 14. Now, in the step 2, we are going to find the critical value, which is denoted by T sub alpha over 2 in 95% confidence limit. Our confidence limit is 95%. Now, in 90% we have 10%, and in 95% we have 5%, in 99% we have 1%. Our given is 95%, so automatically it is 5%. 95% equals to 5%. To convert it into a decimal, we must divide it to 100. Let us get our calculator. Or simply, the easiest way to find the decimal form of 5% is like this. Alpha, it would be, the answer of this would be our alpha. 0, 0. Now, 5 and decimal, 1, 2, dot, 0, 0. Now, our answer is 0.05. Since we move the 0 by 2, because we have 2 0 places here, and the 5 has period here, or decimal here, now we're going to move it by left. 1, 2. That's why it is 0.05. Even if you check it on the calculator, it is still 0.05. But what I teach you is the easiest way to find it. Now, our alpha is 0.05. We will divide it into 2 since it is given that alpha divided by 2. Our alpha divided by 2, or simply 0.05 divided by 2, let us get our calculator. 0.05 divided by 2 equals 0.025. 0.025. Now, this is our critical value. Remember, this is our critical value, and our degrees of freedom is 14. In step 3, we are going to find the value of TF 14 and 0.025 in one take using the T critical values. So, for example, this is the degrees of freedom. 1, 2, up to 14. 1 day. And 0.025. Look at your T critical values and find the degrees of freedom vertically by 14 and 0.025 horizontally by 0.025. Find it horizontally. It is 2.145. So our critical value by T sub 0.025 is 2.145. step 4, we are going to find the margin of error. Which has the formula of E equals to T sub alpha over 2 multiplied by S, which is the sample standard deviation over square root of N. Now, let us substitute that 2.145 multiplied by our S is 2.73. 2.73 over square root of 15. Since our what is looking for is an N, not the degrees of freedom, so it is still 15. Let us get our calculator again. 2.145 times 2.73 divided by square root of 15. The answer is 1.51. So our margin of error is 1.51. So let us proceed in step 6. Step 5 rather. In step 5, as what I've said, that we are going to use this formula to find the confidence interval of the given, which is population mean is greater than sample mean minus margin of error less than sample mean plus margin of error. Our sample mean is 39. Minus our margin of error is 1.51 as given. 1.51 greater than population mean less than 39 again plus. This is what is different. Here is subtraction and here is addition. 39 plus 1.51. Let us get our calculator again. 31 minus 1.51 equals 29. Wait, again. 39 minus 1.51 equals 37.39. 7.49. Greater than population mean 39 plus 1.51. 39 plus 1.51 equals 40.51. The last step, which is the step 6, we are going to identify the lower confidence limit and upper confidence limit. So, this side, which is the sample mean minus margin of error, is the lower confidence limit. So, our lower confidence limit is 37.49. That is our lower. While 40.51 is our upper confidence limit. Upper. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. For example number 5 in stats, we have this problem. The problem is the following data is from the completed grades of 10 grade 10 students that are ranked by their math professor. Again, we have the 10 grade 11 students, so that means our N is equal to 10. And we ask to find that 99% confidence interval for the main grades for all grade 10 students, assuming that the students' grade is approximately normally distributed. This computed. For our letter B, find the lower and upper confidence interval. Since our sample mean and standard deviation is not given, the first we need to is to solve this sample mean and standard deviation. But in order to do that, we need to list this data in the table. For our students, we have 10 students. So, for our X, we put our data in this table. First, we have 90, 85, 92, 87, 75, 86, 81, 93, 86, and 95. After we put our data in this table, we will get the summation of X. We will compute this in calculator using the addition, which is equals to 870. If we get our X summation, we will get the X mean summation. In order to get the X minus mean, you have the formula of X mean, summation of X over N. So our summation of X is 870 and our N is 10. So it is equals to 87. So we have the X minus mean and our X is 870 and our mean is 87. If we get our X mean and our X, we will minus the X mean and our X. So 87 minus 90 is our 3. We have negative 2, 5, 0, negative 12, negative 1, negative 6, positive 6, negative 1, and 8. So if we have our X minus mean, we will multiply it by itself. So we have 9, 4, 25, 0, 144, 1, 36, 36, 1, and 64. And if we get our fourth column, we will get the summation of X minus X squared is equals to 347.
Summation of x minus 2 squared, we can apply the formula to find the value of sample variance. So the formula is sample variance equals summation of x minus mean squared over n minus 1. So now you can get your own calculator. Copy 347 over 10 minus 1. Get your calculator. Copy the 347. Then 10 minus 1 equals 9. So we need to divide it. 347 over 9 is equals to 38.56. So, this is our sample variance. Then, after we get our sample variance, we can solve for our sample standard deviation by getting our square root of our sample variance. So, square root. So, our standard sample variance is 38.56. So, the equal is, you can get your own calculator. to get our standard deviation. So our standard deviation is 6.21. So if we have the mean and standard variation, it means that we can get our confidence interval. So first, again, to find out degree of freedom is degree of freedom n minus 1, then our n is 10, so 10 minus 1, our degree of freedom will be 9. So our degree of freedom is 9. So next is our alpha. So as we can see at letter A, we have the 99% in confidence interval, and in 99% we have the 1%. So alpha 1%. So to convert it, we need to divide it to 100, and 1% is equivalent to 0.01% over 2. So, next is, we need to divide the 0.01 to 2 to get our alpha. Alpha over 2, 0.01 divided by 2 is equal to 0.005. So, our confidence interval is 0.005. So, after we get our alpha over 2 equals to alpha over 2, we can get our critical value at 0.005. It equals to the level as degree of freedom, our degree of freedom and critical value, which by 0.005. So, over 2, 0.005. We can check to our table if it connects, and it equals to 3.250. So our critical value is 3.250. So the formula of our confidence interval is population mean over plus. So, if we substitute to the formula we have, it will be 87 minus 6.38, population of mean, 87 plus 6.38. So, now, we need to subtract the 87 to 6.38. We have the 80.62. Then, population of mean. So, now we have to add the 87 plus 6.38. It will be 93.38. So, after we solve this, our confidence interval is the population mean is between the 80.62, population of mean 93.38. So now that we have the population of mean is between 80.62, population of mean 93.38. So our final answer is our lower SI, our lower confidence interval is equal to 98.62. 80.62 rather. 62. Then our upper confidence interval is equal equal to 93.38. 0.38. So, this is our final answer.